Good morning, welcome back to Layden's Hollow. I'm going down to trim my tomato plants today because they've grown so much in the last week. It looks like a forest in my greenhouse. So yeah, other things are coming along quite well. My grapes on my grapevines are actually starting to work out quite well. See if I can zoom into some of them for you. Here's some grapes coming out. I did a video on that last week as well about pruning grape vines. I'll have to prune them again though. I'll take you down here and show you a little bit of my lettuce before I get into the greenhouse. It's pretty early here in the morning. It's around 7 a.m. Maybe not quite 7 yet, but sun's up, shining quite well. It's a much nicer day today. It seems like there's not much humidity compared to what we have been getting. So yeah, these are my some of my lettuce that I've got growing down here now in my stone garden is what we call this one. This is the one that we built this year, and I got lots of raspberries growing. If you can see them up there, tons of raspberries coming up. So now today I have come down and picked raspberries, but in this raspberry patch there's some blackberries, thorn blackberries. So when I go to pick raspberries, I got to put on my chainsaw pants so I don't rip myself to pieces on the thorns. So yeah, so I'll take you in and we'll get cracking on this trimming these tomato plants that's actually gone crazy. Yeah, this is my greenhouse. I hung all my tomato plants exactly a week ago, 7 days, and this is how much they've grown. It's become a forest in here. So now I have to get in here and trim some of these leaves back because it's starting to get a little out of hand, and we're not getting much airflow through the top. So yeah, what I'm doing now, I have my camera on my head, so I don't know if I'm actually pointing it directly at what I'm actually doing, but what I'm doing is actually taking a pile of leaves off so that the airflow can get in there better, and it actually helps ripen the tomatoes. Because right now it's just too thick and too much in here. And by trimming it, what it actually does is it kind of stresses the plant a little bit. And when a plant is stressed, it produces more fruit. So like this has just gotten out of hand in here. Now these are the San Martinos. I think that's what they call them. It's an Italian paste tomato. I've never grown them before, so we'll see. Now you can see in this one area where I just took a few leaves off, it's opened up much more. There's still lots of leaves on them. I don't want to trim them down too much because they're still producing flowers. And if you produce them too much, I think they'll stop producing flowers. So, but I'm afraid to leave them this thick because I'm afraid mildew will get in, and then you can end up with blight and all kinds of other things. So I'd rather spend an hour in here trimming down my forest. That's what I'm going to call this place this year. Now the tomatoes on this side are my Roma tomatoes. These are the ones that I grow every year. And these are from my seeds that I save every year. These aren't too bad. They're not quite as thick as the San Martinos. They're a lot thinner. And I'm finding that San Martinos are putting their fruit and their flower not off the stalk but off the leaves. So I have to be very careful on the leaves that I'm trimming off. Because if you can see this is a leaf right here, and these are the fruit that it's producing right now. Now I've been quite fortunate. I have never had blight or anything like that on any of my tomato plants since I've been growing them, and I've been doing this for 25 years now. But I do keep my plants trimmed quite well. I just couldn't believe how much this plant has grown in a week. Like if you look down through here, lots of tomatoes in there. Lots and lots and lots of tomatoes. So I need to get some airflow and some sunshine getting at those tomatoes. Because I did amend all my soil in this greenhouse this year. I added a lot of compost to all of it. But next year I think I'm going to add some clay to my soil, because where I've been using compost for so many years now, the water seems to drain off really quick, and the soil is not capturing the moisture like it should. Like, there's lots of people that don't trim their tomato plants because they're afraid they're going to hurt them, but actually this does tomato plants really well. Because you can tell, like, even in this little space, I've taken off a lot of leaves, but still, there's still too many leaves in here. I gotta get down in deeper. Because now, because they are setting fruit, I do want sunlight to be able to hit the ground, like to go actually through the plant and actually strike the ground underneath. But when I first trimmed these, I only trimmed the bottom just to keep the bottom leaves from the ground. But now I need sunlight penetrating the bush itself, like of all of these tomato plants. So that means you have to take off a lot more leaves, which is not going to hurt the tomato plant at all. They'll just produce more. I usually end up trimming my tomato plants probably 2 or 3 times a year, sometimes. But then there's other years that I trim them once and it's enough. I only trim them if I need to. If I don't need to, I don't. See, there's lots of tomatoes setting. Like, look at this nice big cluster down there. It's a huge cluster of tomatoes right there. Like, I still don't let any leaves stay down in the lower areas of the tomato plants, and I keep all of the suckers that want to grow. Even though these are a determinate tomato, I don't let suckers grow on the bottom of these anymore. No. I also don't leave the tomato leaves on the ground in there, because what can happen is if you just pile it up there and use the leaves as a mulch, what could happen is it could actually start to rot and cause mildew. So I don't leave anything on the ground. Some years what I would do in my greenhouses, last year I did it, I put about 4 or 5 inches of wood chips on there. Now, I know commercial growers, they just let their tomato plants more or less lie right on the ground, but they spray chemicals on theirs to keep the mildew and blight away, which I definitely don't do. I would never recommend anybody using a pesticide or anything like that on their food that they're planning on eating. I don't like putting poison in my body or anybody else's body for that matter. I'm trying to get some of these to kind of wrap around this string to keep them from falling out into my walkway. And if they're around this string, that will actually help them stand up once they start producing more fruit and stop them from falling over. Oh, you can see the pile of leaves that's down there. And that's just one side so far, and I'm still not done. Because now if you look down through, you can actually see that there is actually sun getting down to the base of the plant now, to make sure there's no tomatoes on it or flowers. But sometimes I end up cutting flowers or cutting some fruit off. Of tomatoes this year, I'm not exactly too worried about it. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Maybe consider subscribing. Smash that like button. Stay safe, stay healthy, and thanks for watching.